This is day 116. Saul Disobeys. 1 Samuel 13 to 15. Saul grew strong and powerful in Israel. He was the one to give all the orders now, but Samuel still told Saul what to do. It was his job to pass on God's orders and to remind Saul of God's law. But Saul began to want his own way more and more. One day, Saul prepared his army to fight. "Wait," Samuel told him. "Don't go into battle until I come to you in 1 week's time." Saul waited nearly a week. Still, Samuel did not arrive. Saul muttered and fumed and strode up and down looking for him. Then, in anticipation, he began to organize things himself. Saul arrived just before the seventh days were up to find that Saul had taken over control. Later on, Saul disobeyed God's instructions again and again, Samuel found out. Saul made plenty of excuses, but Samuel realized now that Saul was not willing to listen to God's way. He wanted his own way instead. Samuel knew how much it mattered that the king of Israel should obey God. God was Israel's real king. The earthly king must rule on God's behalf, not please himself like the kings of the other nations. He must also set a good example to the people. "Saul," Samuel said, "don't you realize that God wants your obedience more than all the presents you could give him? To disobey God is the worst kind of sin. I have a sad message for you from God. Because you have kept disobeying him, your sons will not rule after you. God will find a king for Israel who will be willing to follow him and obey his laws." What do you think of that? Many people blame God for many things that happen in their lives and don't take responsibility for their choices. And like Saul, they take control when they want to, but choose not to listen to God and deal and receive the benefits or the consequences that God offers. So the choice when you come to God through Christ is whether you choose to listen or not listen. And when you listen, sometimes you have to suffer, sometimes you lose out on things that you may want. But ultimately, God is choosing the best path for you, the best route, the best direction for your life. And he knows what's ahead. As humans, we think we know best, but we don't see what's ahead. And that's the difference. God sees what's ahead. And most of the time it's great abundance, great joy, and greatness. But because we often go off his path, we don't get to receive the gifts that he has in store for us down the line. If you knew that God had a great, abundant, bountiful gifts, big house, big car, not to worry about bills and stuff, would you follow him? If you knew, if it was guaranteed, if he said to you, "I guarantee you that success that you dream of," would you follow him? I hope that's something for you to think about. God bless.